Hi everyone, Josh Matta here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my special guest, Ari Star. Say hi, Aaron. Do it again and I'll make your noise. Wow! Mops is also here today, but she's running around. She's got a squeak toy, so if that's what you guys hear, that's what you guys hear. So my sister and a couple other people were asking like, hey, you haven't put up a video in a while. What's going on? And I'm like, well, I'm working through things. I think after the last video I put up was my mom. So it kind of like messed with me, as it would anybody. So, and YouTube's the way that I work through stuff. So I have a ton of footage that I have not worked through yet. So one day I'll do that. Today is not that day, sis. You may hear us sounding a little different. We went out and got this professional microphone. It's actually Aaron's for work. So I guess it's Aaron's for work, but I'm going to use it tonight.
Welcome to your tape.
So Aaron was kind enough to make us a list of things to talk about because we were ranting and raving a minute ago and that was just a big fat mess. So we're going to go ahead and let's get started.
So I guess we'll just provide a little update at our jobs.
So thank you for that segue, Aaron. So I actually left inpatient pretty recently. And I've been at my new position. I'm an outpatient now. I know, right? No, I wasn't happy in inpatient. I felt like all I could learn. I learned all that I could about inpatient nursing, and it was just not anything that I wanted to do anymore. It wasn't that I was incompetent or that I didn't know anything, because you do use a different skill set in mental health. It's not so much about labs and vitals and EKGs. It's more about like making sure no one kills themselves, making sure they have enough resources and support. It's a super different challenge, but I'm so happy now. I have autonomy. I have a cute little desk with my own little computer, and I have like a little light that I turn on, and I fill out paperwork.
But it was a good change. You seem a lot less stressed now.
Yeah.
Your schedule's a lot better.
Yeah, so I'm Monday through Friday, like 8 to 4. 8 to 4:30 sometimes. Everyone likes to change schedules, so it's between those hours. Home with the kid, home with Aaron, no weekends, no holidays, so the holiday season's coming up, honey, and I'm just like, we do offer inpatient facility, just so you guys know, that's just not where my heart has taken me. But I'm having so much fun. There's lots of support there. We have NPs and stuff, so I'm just like, because next year, I was trying to keep this a secret, but next year I think if I have all the qualifications, I'm going to apply for NP school so that I can do NP in mental health, because it's it just calls to me. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for mental health, and it's just calling to me, so I think that's my next step.
That'd be good. And it'd be nice for you to be in peace so I can retire.
You're never going to retire. We're never going to retire. We're about to buy a house.
Oh, yeah. Well, before we get to that update, I'm still working at home, and I'll be working from home through the rest of the year, mostly because our state is not doing very well right now with our coronavirus cases.
We were for a minute. We were killing. I guess I shouldn't say.
Oh! And
we were managing the heck out of it. But
our
today
state, we had over 800 cases today, and we're not a very big city, so that's a shocking amount of people.
Yeah, we're all spread out. New Mexico is very rural, and we have a lot of socioeconomic factors to our health and our culture, and like there's so many comorbidities that we just have because we live here and because we grew up a certain type of way we have a lot of diabetes, high cholesterol, heart disease. Like we just have a lot of that stuff. So we were on it. Yeah. And then something happened. And then now we're all acting a fool. I think we all had quarantine fatigue. Mm-hmm. But that being said, Aaron's been blessed to work from home.
Well, not only that, but Mops wants to speak up on that too. Not only that, but I think because stuff started opening again, people started getting comfortable, and you see a lot of people with no masks. Just the other day, we went to the park at night, and there was like 25 to 30 kids out there with not a single mask on, just all in the field huddled together, and they all leave with no masks, no distancing or anything. I'm like,
And they said, okay, guys, let's do a thing. Everyone put your hand in. And then they started chanting, and they're all, bah, 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 and little kids are just
I'm like,
spitting
hello?
at each other. And I'm just like, Aaron. And he's like, I know. So we like picked up the dog and took off running down the street, down the park. And then there was just everywhere you look, there's just people just like, look at my face. I'm like, I would keep your mask on. I'd like to keep it on, please. I'd like you to keep it on, please. But
people just are not considerate for others. Like, even if you're not personally at risk for coronavirus, someone else might be. And the fact that you can't just stick a plastic or a paper mask on your face to go around somewhere is just like, you don't care about other people.
yeah. Or they're like, I can't do this for 10 minutes. I can't breathe. I'm like, chill. I used to do it for 12 hours. Like, you have no idea. And I wasn't the worst one. There's some of them that have to do N95 with the mask on top, with the goggles, which now we all have to have. But with the goggles, with the gown, with the freaking gloves. I did that a couple times and it was the worst. So you can have a seat. I don't know, Karen, whoever you want to be today. Have a seat, because there's people out here doing it. And one of my friends on Facebook brought up this really good point. He's like, so what's going to happen whenever like if Corona hits hard again? And I was like, it's flu season. We're all expecting it. We're all forecasting for it. So he's like, well, what's going to happen? I'm like, and he's like, I bet all the nurses are going to get just tired and just stop. And I'm like, yeah, because we were in it. Like, I never got a day off. I kind of got some time off for bereavement, but that was like a planned scheduling thing too that I had around my birthday, pre-planned in the beginning of January. So it was like I never got off. Like, I even picked up like 6 shifts to like help out, and like I was running around and I was picking up shifts here and there and like all this stuff, just like helping out, because none of the nursing homes were taking patients back, so our hospital was just like overloaded, and we're the trauma one. Google it. So we were just to the brim. So I don't know what's gonna happen, because that wasn't even through like peak flu season. Now it's real flu season, so I don't know. I think something's gonna happen, and I thank God I don't even know.
So our next topic is house buying.
House buying! So this, I think, is good for us to talk through, because, oh my God, I bet you can really hear that. But I think it's really important for us to talk through it, because we got stuck and I've never bought a house before. We didn't even own our house growing up. So it's just like, it's very new, it's very novel for me, but at the same time, it's terrifying for me too.
I will say that it's a perfect storm of me being super picky on houses and the housing market here being crazy, and people are just like, a house will go on the market, and if it's really nice and like updated and not made out of matchsticks and Lincoln logs, it'll be off the market in 2 minutes. Yeah. And if it's on the market for like a few days, you know something's wrong with it.
Now we know, we've learned. But Aaron's more picky, so for me, I just want a big kitchen. I want a nice bathtub to like float around in, and I want a big open area at the bottom to entertain. So we're buying a house now because we're gonna stay here for now. Things can change, but we want to have some equity being built and stuff, like grown-up terms. What are your requirements in a house?
I want a house that looks like Kylie Jenner's. No, I want a house that's
on our budget.
I want a house that looks contemporary and like modern, but that's like energy efficient and like up to date, like in this decade.
Yeah.
And especially in the desert, all these houses are not, for some reason, all the houses here are not built for the desert, and it's very expensive to heat and cool them. And it's like, why?
So there's all this dumb stuff that's happening. So because of that, whenever we were initially looking, Aaron was just like, nope, doesn't have a central air. Nope, doesn't have this. Nope, doesn't have that. So we lost out on these really nice houses that I would have been very happy with right now. But because we weren't really sure what we were doing, that it just turned into like a bigger situation than it needed to be. Lessons learned. We found a beautiful home, and we'll see what happens with that. I don't think we can go further into it right now, but we found one, and I was so excited. But we're not there right now, so we'll see what happens. That's all I'm gonna say.
So, kind of going off of the coronavirus, what do you think? How do you think we're gonna do Halloween this year?
I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot of house parties. However, the sheriff or the police czar, whatever they're called, he's like, we're not going to police Corona, and you have to police each other, call each other, tattle on your neighbor. Here's a phone number. But then it's like, I don't have time to be watching what they're doing. I know some of our neighbors up the street have had like a baby shower, a birthday. Like there's like 30 cars up and down the street all the time. But that's not my problem. My problem is that you don't come into my house. Like, because I'm not going to see what you're doing. I know you're going to F stuff up for the rest of us, but that's not my problem. By the time any of the police come anyway, nothing's going to happen. Regardless how many are sent out or how many we're supplemented with, like, we're just too big of a state for that. So, I don't know what we're going to do for Halloween. I would hope we could do, like, some kind of, activities. Like I know I wanted to do pumpkin patch. We went today to go look for the pumpkin patch and it was closed because of Corona. And that's like what my favorite holidays are. All the I call them the high holidays of the seasons. So like mine are like all the fall and winter ones, like pumpkin patches, haunted houses, haunted farm, zombie hunt, like all that. Plus there's Thanksgiving and Christmas and like Halloween. So it's like all of these are gonna start coming up, and then I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're gonna do. I feel like after Halloween, these cases are gonna spike because usually people are drunk, people are running around, and people being silly, and everyone's gonna be like, I'm a mouse, duh. So it's like you're already gonna put your body at risk, like. Plus, it's flu season and it's cold. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Get your flu shot.
Yeah.
So I think what I would like to do, I still would like to dress up, but I want to do like what do you call it, like a virtual thing?
Host.
Oh God, that would be kind of fun. We did decorate our house a little bit. We put like a giant spider outside, but you can't tell.
A giant web.
I know. What else? Our next topic off of that is what kind of activities can we do with the cases going up with our friends that we can do without meeting them in person?
That's difficult because not everyone's set up for Zoom like that. Like Aaron married someone who's good with tech. That's all I can say. Because some of these people, you see them, you talk to them, and their phone is the only thing that they have. And I don't know what we could do. Zoom would be okay. FaceTime was good for a minute. However, it was this weird, like this. It was just too much bullshit moving on the screen. Uh-oh. So then
I thought a good idea for this like spooky season. There's a game that's trending right now all over YouTube. Is called Phantasmophobia.
I'm not gonna do that.
And it's a fun game, and you play with your friends, and they all like connect on their computers, and everyone talks over the speaker, and it's like a walkie-talkie, and you're going ghost hunting in different houses and scary places. And I thought that'd be a fun activity.
That would, but it's on the computer or an iPad.
You can do iPad too. I think it's all on every device.
That would be interesting. I would really be interested in doing something like that. However, getting people to play along on stuff like that is sometimes difficult. But I think it's a viable option, something spooky for you and your friends to play. But we'll put the information in the description below.
Okay. And I think the last topic I'm going to touch on tonight is a good topic. So, a good topic.
A good topic.
Oh, Come on, Etta James. I sound like that lady from Oblivion. Are you effective, team?
Oh my God. Guys, have you seen Raised by Wolves? That was such a good show. Anyway.
So we mailed in our ballots and voted, and I think it's so important to do so and get your votes in because it's dangerous to be around big crowds, but you should still vote. Vote, 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 vote!
The thing I don't understand is like they're like, well, we're gonna send all these creepy goblin men to come watch the polls with their guns. I'm like, everyone has a gun. Why isn't anyone on the other side being like, I got a gun too? Now what? Now you just got a pot belly and no ass. Now what?
Well, anyways, I just wanted to say, get your votes in because you have no reason to be on Facebook.
Don't vote for Kanye. Don't fuck us for another fucking 4 years.
You can't be on Facebook posting paragraphs after paragraphs about how bad things are and not vote.
Yeah. That being said, thank you so much for watching our rant tonight. I love you guys so very much, and I'll do my best to start recording a little bit more frequently. I've been going through a lot, so I'm just gonna ask for forgiveness. Thank you, Aaron. Ew!